For me, there's not an element as such. It's how we look at planning holistically. So it's everything from how we think about the trees and green spaces for our mental health, through to how we make places where people want to walk and cycle, as well as the kind of access to food. And also more recently, I think we've become more acutely aware of the importance of housing, so warm and safe places, and again also how those places can also stay cool in the summer just has. For me, like planning policy, public health was the start. It was why we have planning, and I think that we sometimes as a profession underestimate the role that we can play in reducing not just health inequalities but also kind of the burdens on the NHS. If you can prevent disease, you're going to save more money than if you try to treat it. So I think that's particularly where we are with budgets being tight. I think it's almost like COVID catapulted us into a new way of thinking, and it sounds very strange, but everything that's going on at the moment, I think, is making us go even further towards really thinking about how we can prevent rather than treat. Yeah. I think, if you can create a healthy place, you're going to have utopia. I think, however, in the past, and I am a planner and I love being a planner, we haven't necessarily thought about kind of health. It's we planned for the car, for example. We put buildings where we'd want to walk. We didn't necessarily think about how people walk or travel around places. So I think the tide needs to turn, and we're going back to with place shaping now. So I think as planners we may have inadvertently contributed to a health dystopia, and some of the problems we have now with obesity I think can be attributed to some of the past planning. It's not that we should be ashamed of that, I think we just need to learn from it. But I do think planning for health is part of how we can get to utopia for the future. Hands up, I'm from Milton Keynes. I love Milton Keynes. I will rant and rave about how brilliant Milton Keynes is. However, from what I've just said, part of the reason I say that is because I live in Milton Keynes, and Milton Keynes is a brilliant urban laboratory to show you how planning can also contribute to dystopia. But I'm firmly on its utopia. I mean, Milton Keynes in the autumn, we only have to look around us at the trees turning orange, purple, green, walking. The economic vibrancy all around us to show that it's beautiful. I love it. Sorry, it's amazing.